Hi, everybody. Welcome to the AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined by two lovely returning guests today. They're so lovely, they married each other. Can you believe that? We welcome back to the show Emily Winter and Chris Calogero.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We have fun.
You guys have fun together. It's cute. And your dog is a cute part of your family. We're here with her.
Yeah, she's a little
Pickles.
Pickles Pequeña is at our feet.
Yes.
Pickles Pequeña? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, a little Spanish.
Yeah, a little Spanish.
You guys
yeah.
gotta have some Cuban vibe. I don't know what that. So on the last episode, which is on the bonus, join us on Patreon. Chris said that you were more morally flexible.
Yeah.
In a context of doing something sneaky. A girl wanted her boyfriend to print 150 pages at work.
So I can't get this out of my head that my husband thinks I'm more morally flexible than him. But twist, I also agree that I am more morally flexible, but I can't figure out why I feel this way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't put a finger on it. But also, like, in terms of stealing corporate office supplies, I mean,
You take the cake. I'll never catch up to you.
I was up in there. Yeah, I'm in the thousands, I think.
Thousands of pages.
Thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Come on.
Bro,
He used to send
what?
out like
I'm in trouble.
packages.
You're in trouble?
If this gets
But
back.
you were severely underpaid
True.
at that job.
True.
So
I think steal everything in an office that's not nailed down.
Postage? Like, I don't understand.
postage,
supplies.
office supplies.
You're in charge of ordering office supplies. You order one for them and one for you.
We had dishwasher.
Did this benefit
pods.
you? Oh, okay, that's helpful. Yeah,
paper
we need
towels.
Paper
those.
towels, dishwasher pods.
Those pods are expensive.
Lysol
LaCroix.
wipes. LaCroix. No, not LaCroix.
Well, we do now.
well, now.
that we work in television, that television you mostly only get paid in LaCroix.
Yeah,
that's
true.
what it is.
Ooh, that's true. Your paycheck is at the bottom of a can of LaCroix.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the first day. Well, tomorrow is going to be the first day really back from the holiday break.
Well,
Brutal.
I was checking up on your guys' social media, see what you got into. Emily, you're made bad girl soup.
I found a way to corrupt soup. I did 5 bad girl things in the course of making this soup.
As a Midwesterner, she has a big love for soup.
I do love a soup.
Is that a Midwestern thing? Soup girl?
I mean, it's cold and there's a
cold
lot of
there.
soup.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That rings.
So I was at the grocery store and the recipe calls for 1 sprig of rosemary that sits in there in the pot while you're making the soup. And I just saw so much loose rosemary and I just grabbed one and I didn't, because I was like, man, I've made drinks like alcohol cocktails with rosemary. I've made a bunch. I don't know. I feel like rosemary's been part of everything that I've made since Thanksgiving. And like, I just didn't want to buy any more rosemary. I don't have money.
Any extra rosemary.
I don't have money to keep buying rosemary. I don't have rosemary money. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I had to get celery for the soup and I hid the sprig of rosemary in the celery.
My God.
And then I had to go through the checkout line.
Bad girl life hack.
Yeah, bad girl life hack. So I felt super proud of that. I was really scared when I went through the checkout line because I don't steal very often. And anyway, so that was
You don't steal very often. That's good to say.
Yeah.
Say this, please note your
Officer?
Note the amount of stealing you do per week.
Honestly,
Estimated, like, if you get a rosemary thing, does it come with like 20 sprigs? Like, how
yes,
much was?
so much. So
you
much.
stole like pennies.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe like 40 cents. Whatever it was, you had to buy the whole giant
That's
thing.
too many rosemary sprigs.
I'm sick of it. I
Yeah.
can only
She's sick of it. She complains about it every day. The rosemary's making her crazy.
What was one other ingredient of the bad girl soup?
onion.
Because
Beans.
Why is it bad?
Oh, you meant like the
The real bad girl stuff.
real bad girl stuff. Okay, so here's what I did with the vegetables, which you have to saute. So I chopped them up and then I sauteed them in not olive oil, but weed-infused olive
That's
oil
right.
that our friend gave us. And our friend is a serious pothead. And he was like, I texted him,
Serious.
and when we were like flying later,
Yeah, I was like, I'm going.
we got soup pie.
Going.
So I texted him and I was like, how weedy is that olive oil? And
How weedy is it?
And
Yeah, that's
'cause
all
I
you
was
could
like,
kinda
'cause Chris is
muster.
flying off the roof here, man.
He's
and
flying.
talking in a British accent. And he was like, it's pretty weedy. I cut it half and half with regular olive oil. I probably should have asked this question before I used only the weed.
One of the classic blunders.
Olive oil. Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
And I added in extra cheese. That made it bad girl. And we ate after 10 p.m. because I was doing so much bad girl stuff that I was not paying attention.
How long did it take to...
Took me...
From start to finish
From
on
the
the soup?
time I got to the grocery store where I stole the rosemary.
A grocery store we live a 5-minute walk from.
So I got to the grocery store at like 6:20, 6:25. And then we ate 4 hours later.
It's a long soup.
It's a long
That's
soup.
a long soup.
That was my fault, not the recipe's fault. And I added extra spice too, which I didn't even talk to you about.
bad. Wow.
I know.
This is
Extra
bad.
Extra bad.
Cheesy, spicy, weedy, late.
So I went over there to your Instagram. You were up to no good as well.
Yeah.
You got kissed by Camila Cabello.
That was a couple years ago. I played Santa Claus behind the scenes at Jingle Ball in Madison Square Garden.
Jingle Ball.
Yeah, Jingle Ball.
funny.
So it was all these
He met
artists.
Taylor.
I met Taylor Swift. I met Lizzo. I saw Drew Barrymore. And Camila Cabello was the nicest. I feel like she was the only person who like really took a picture with me.
Wow.
But it was like, for the kids of celebrities and people with backstage passes and stuff, to be really nice to them. And
You were Santa for the backstage people?
yeah, I was Santa backstage.
Wow.
Yeah, I went out. I
didn't know that was a thing.
into the crowd once and was like, ooh, and people were like really cheering for me. But my boots were too big for me, so I almost tripped up the stairs, which really would have been a viral moment,
That would have
huh?
been
Santa
bad.
eats it at Madison Square Garden.
So the gig was backstage Santa.
Backstage Santa, yeah, which sounds like a
Naughty.
yes,
Naughty.
yeah.
He did not get to keep the outfit.
Pornographic,
'cause,
film.
I would have liked a little hang out.
No,
with
not after I
backstage
was not
Santa.
after I was done
No,
with
you're
it, man. I was
yeah.
sweating all through
Wow.
that thing. But yeah, it was cool. Taylor Swift told me that I was doing a great job.
Oh my God. Taylor Swift said that directly to you?
Yeah, because they would come. A lot
She
of the
figured
celebrities.
it out that he wasn't the real Santa, so she was like, "Oh God,
I
they
broke
just
her
hired
little
a guy."
heart, yeah.
yeah.
A lot of the acts would come by me to go out. Like the stage was literally like wherever we are, like 15 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And they would pass by to go on stage, and I'd be like, "Merry Christmas!" Oh, do the voice and all that stuff. And Taylor
Wait,
was.
what's the voice? Is that the voice?
Well, it's a poor.
Can we hear the
Yeah.
voice?
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho. You know you have to do that Santa voice.
Yeah.
That's
it's
pretty good.
I guess
Can you do it?
Can you do one?
I never thought about this before. I guess I just thought, is it like a deep, like, Merry Christmas?
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, I'm just copying you.
Yeah, but it is. That's where it is.
Because he's old? Or like, why does he have a different voice? What's the angle there?
Well, I don't know, because I guess.
Oh, I'm Santa Claus. Is this how Santa talks?
Yeah, that is kind of how Santa
All the
talks.
boys
I think
and
it'd be-
girls.
I think it's weird if you're like, "Hey, what do you want, a razor scooter?" Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you need that.
Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, he's kind of theatrical.
He is.
Yeah.
He's very over the top. And Taylor was like, "Great job, you're doing great work out here." And I was that was a bit of a starstruck moment. Yes, that was cool.
Can you do a video called Shy Santa?
Shy Santa.
Yeah.
What-
I think we're a few weeks too late for
I
that.
think we'll
but
bank it for next year.
bank
Bank it for next year.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
I can't
Yeah.
make videos that far in
Yikes.
advance though, because like if I die, I don't want people releasing videos that are made.
Like scheduled.
Yeah.
I've thought about that before. What if you die before?
It's so creepy.
And like some scheduled things comes out and it like wasn't very good, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, like 8 reasons I love my own butthole.
Yeah.
He died and then put that out.
It's super weird, dude.
Like, did he die? So my holiday update is somebody actually kind of criticized me because we're not a big gift giving family, but my dad turned the big 7-0 this guy.
Woohoo.
And I actually regretted not doing it because I got him a drone. I
Okay.
got him a freaking, he loves his drone. And I regret not getting it for Christmas. We could have played with the damn thing.
Yeah.
But he was
That's
really
nice of
happy.
you.
And I'll play this audio clip. I'll do an impression for you guys, but you guys can hear this audio clip of him reacting to getting the drone.
Oh my lord, what a drone! Holy, moly, cannoli.
That's really sweet, man.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, it was good. So I'm waiting to get the footage of his inaugural flight. Well, he'll fly it around the golfers and
Why
scare
did
them.
you get him a drone? Was he like talking about drones, how much he loves them?
So my first viral video, this is the first time I ever hit on the internet. It was called Drone Dad. It was a movie trailer. I'll put the link. And it was trailer style. My dad got the drone at like a mall kiosk. This was like the very beginning of drones.
Yeah.
And this thing just sucked. Like it would just fly up and then crash and like it was just trash. And so he blows on it in the video.
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo game?
Yeah, like a Nintendo game. That's literally the joke in the video. And so then we got him a good drone. And so he's had this drone for like 6-7 years. I was
okay.
like, he's 70. You know, what the fuck do I get him? You know, a pickleball. So
Yeah.
I was like, I get him a drone.
Wait, so you
got him
regretted
a new drone
you regretted
now?
not getting it for Christmas? For
Yeah,
him?
because then we could have flown it all together. His birthday is right after Christmas.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
I'm like,
okay.
I should have thought of that. But, you know, as Emily has said, straight white men, we're not good at this kind of shit. Didn't have the foresight. I'm going to respond to some comments here. A lot of Instagram action on AITA for making my girlfriend late on her birthday.
Oops.
Myra wrote, glad she missed her own event. Hopefully she learned to be mindful of others moving forward.
Ooh.
The poll was very, there's a poll on Instagram, people vote, and the poll was very hateful toward the girlfriend, which I thought,
On the internet?
yeah, hateful.
Wow.
People
To
are
a woman?
hateful toward women. I know. It's crazy.
I do think that we just got done recording an episode where I hated the woman in every scenario, but I do
True. They deserve it though.
I do think that generally women are like considered bad.
Yeah.
I know I'm really breaking the mold here, saying some crazy stuff. So yeah, what? Wow. I'm surprised. I don't think that this woman is horrible.
Also, like that comment you read is what a horrible thing to say. I don't like that.
Nasty.
It's just a nasty. Like, glad she missed her. You don't know this person. You don't know them. Like, worry about your own damn self.
Amanda writes, I can't believe she tried to blame him when she was the one running late. I mean, I think what a lot of people saw, and I think obviously there's a sexism online component, but I do think people are frustrated with the lates.
It's very late.
It's very late.
It's very late.
People who are do you guys have a chronically late? Oh yeah, we talked about we do.
I'm the chronically late, like 5'10".
Well, you see, you guys were good today because first of all, I expected you to be late, but then I gave you the wrong location, so I had nothing. I
Yeah,
was like, I can't say
right.
shit.
But you just don't ever want to get anywhere and have nothing to do.
I really hate that. I really hate being somewhere early. It's really upsetting to me.
So I'm like,
really? Wait,
I'm like,
what? Oh,
let's
I've
get to
never
the
heard
airport.
this.
Let's get to the airport early, and then we're just there, and then it's over. And you're like,
ain't got a
oh, I'll rip
laptop?
my own skin off if I have to do that.
What? I've never heard of. I'm so the opposite of that. Oh my God, the idea of being late, like, to the airport of all places. Like, did I already guys tell you about the airport story? I got to the airport so early, they were like, dude, you can't check your bag.
I mean, I've been there so early that the TSA, like the pre-check thing, they're like, we're not open.
Oh, you got to the airline, what, like 3 o'clock?
Yeah, they're like,
That's
we're not
hilarious.
open. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I went right from a wedding to the airport for a flight the next morning, and the flight attendant had to wake me up on the floor because I was sleeping.
Wow. But wait, so then are you late to the airport or not?
I usually
I'm hearing
am.
mixed things.
Now that I'm married to this man and we travel a lot together, I have to go there early, and it's
We've compromised.
so boring. Yeah.
We've compromised on it.
Wait, so I thought you hated being early.
Me?
Yeah.
He likes being early.
I love being early.
I hate being early.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you said, I hate being there and having nothing to do.
No, Emily hates being there and having nothing to do.
Got
she
it.
hates it so much. If it was up to me, like going to the movies, going to the airport, like I'm there early. I'm poking around on my phone. I'm walking
So we're
around.
aligned here. So what the fuck is wrong with you? That's crazy. You don't get
Yeah.
anxious? Why can't you be on your phone? You had nothing to do?
I never have anything to do, man.
You have so much to do.
There's got to be something for you to do.
Like,
You just
there's-
hate
okay,
that
I
idea
don't
of free
mind-
time at a place like an airport or like a movie theater or something.
Yeah, but I don't mind getting to sports early because then I can stretch. So that one's fine, but I'm still bad at it.
Stretching, that's the fun thing. Why don't you
Stretch?
fucking
What do
stretch
you mean?
before the airport?
Like, I got to tennis early last week. Oh no,
Oh,
I
like
didn't.
playing
No, I got late.
sports.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Pickleball Gladiator. I thought, now you guys have brought me into the pickleball fold here. Pickleball Gladiator wrote, "This is the end product of resentment. It was in him to address the resentment in a serious way before it became such a trigger that he lashed out. It's why Gottman predicts in a highly accurate way that resentment is one of the 4 primary relationship killers."
Yeah.
I agree with that, totally.
I totally agree.
The pickleball males are pretty, maybe
Pickleball
emotionally
Gladiator,
aware.
man.
Pickleball Gladiator.
Smash that one over the net.
There we go.
I agree. Like he clearly has such an issue with it that he made it a huge problem rather than addressing it or like even doing it in a light way, like a dinner reservation, even like on a random night might get the point across. And then you could have an open conversation about it. But to ruin her birthday to prove a point is you gone too far. You suck.
Yeah.
I think what Carla nailed so well, and maybe you guys can speak to this, but like a relationship is an ecosystem. And so when one person is enabling the other, and he was enabling her for years.
Yes.
And then abruptly it's kind of like, no, I'm not doing that anymore, and then only enforces it on her birthday. I'm like, bro, like you kind of got to own the fact that like a lot of your anger isn't her behavior, but rather the fact that you let yourself get walked on again and again. And that's on you. And I thought this was malicious and spiteful.
super malicious.
It was really malicious. I totally agree.
Because like people want to say, well, it's an everyone sucks here. And I was like, look, she's got to address the lateness thing.
Yeah,
And
this is a
that's a
problem.
fucking thing.
It's
But
like
this, the fallout of this event isn't him being like, I need an apology from you. It's like, no, bro, you went so far here and so in such an ugly way that you have to apologize. And the time for you to be like, hey, the lateness thing though, it's got to be addressed. That's going to have to wait.
Yeah, I agree. It's like being mad at somebody if like you're always walking down the street with them and they have their head in their phone and you like you push or pull them out of the way of things, and then you're like, I'm gonna address this situation. Here's a manhole. You're gonna fall in the manhole, and now you're dead.
On your birthday.
And you're like, no, dude. Like, no, that's not the.
You let me die.
It's too aggressive. It's too much of like a lesson. Trying to make a lesson learned.
Yeah, just
when
let
you
him
could
run
have
into a tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something silly.
Yeah. I mean, how do you stay with a person like that?
Nah,
Like,
it's
I
over.
mean, I'd be like, for the rest of my life, I'd be like, remember the time you ruined my birthday? Remember?
Also, he doubled down by being like, I can walk into my bedroom whenever I want. Okay, dude, we know that that's true, but somebody's having an emotional reaction, let them have it. Don't also be weird about that.
That's fair. He could have given her some. I mean, he wasn't backing off. He was doubling down, tripling down. Yeah, that's fair.
Man, that guy's
it's
pushed
kind of like
all
back
his
off
chips to the middle.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
that's fair.
it's so babyish.
I think it might be survivable though. You're not with me. Because that's frustrating for years to be deal with chronic lateness.
Yeah, but like it's funny. We were just talking about a stupid engagement dinner and how irrelevant it is, but like, don't ruin somebody's birthday. I don't know. I just find that like really yucky.
Well, or just a big day. Like the birthday is obviously relevant, but also more relevant is that she wanted to see these specific acts and bands at this specific event in this moment on a special day. You took that opportunity to ruin it all for her.
Yeah.
To prove a point.
Oh, it was monstrous.
Yeah.
It's monstrous. Anyway. Got some other comments here. AITA for wanting to hang my ex's art. Sam Spudin writes, I feel you should be able to tell a person when they're acting out of insecurity. I wouldn't say overacting or dramatic is fair. And I thought that was interesting. I guess I don't feel like that's true. I'm like, I don't think it's healthy in a conflict to do any kind of psychoanalyzing. And to me, that falls in that category.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I agree.
I don't think you're an asshole. What do you think? But it's a conversation.
I guess, again, it's a conversation, and I don't think it's so bad. I don't know. It's a conversation you can have, and everybody should be flexible in terms of that conversation. Like the art hanger should be flexible about maybe moving it to a different place.
I think it's a negotiation.
Right, it's a negotiation.
He came in too hot. That was my issue. Like, you can't be attacked. Her feelings are valid. And
absolutely.
That's where he lost me. Double DDA4 writes, people be doing too much. I'm not throwing away any gifts that I like. Who gave you that? A friend. I don't know. Some people kind of went that way with it. I'm like, I don't know that I like that either.
I think if it's something that's like hanging in your apartment together, then you're living a lie a little bit. And that's like, that's a little like...
It does feel weird.
If it's something that you never see again. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to say if it's like Target art or something that is like bought without being imbued with meaning, then yeah. Or like your ex gave you books that sit on your shelf that are just books that anybody would have.
Yeah.
You go, who cares? But there's something very meaningful about a piece of art created for you.
Yeah.
And by.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like lying is actually a good idea. I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much. I don't feel like this is a TMI situation. And a friend does feel like really... I don't know. Is this worth having a fight over? He could have just said, "Yeah, a friend made it for me."
Because the gamble too is, it's from a friend, and then it slips out, or maybe like somebody else, lets the actual truth slip, and then now it's a major issue because you've lied about it.
Yes, absolutely.
I personally wouldn't do it.
What? Put the art up?
No, lie. I would be
agree.
like, an ex made it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. This isn't my style. I don't be keeping no art from my ex around my house.
But you wouldn't lie about it if you did.
No, because I don't want to. I'm exhausted at the idea of having to keep stories straight.
Yes,
It's a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Deaf Blob writes, I once painted an eagle for an old friend and my mom, and I went to his country after not seeing him for 10 years and gave him a painting. He was really happy and took down his wife's painting and put mine up.
That's okay. That's different. That's very different.
That's hilarious.
It's very different. I don't even really know why he commented, but I just was like, it sounds like you made a painting of an eagle.
Bragging about your art and your gift giving.
My eagles are sick.
My eagles are so good, it'll fucking ruin your wife's art.
That reminds me of any New York Times article comment. Like, I feel like New York Times are like, one time in 1976, I was hanging out with my aunt, and you're just like, oh my God.
And Tom Waits walked by.
Yeah.
Gives a shit, dude. It's a recipe for chocolate chip cookies.
It just like sounds, I can't explain it exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds irrelevant and like old and like,
Yeah, I agree.
All right, folks, we're going to play a little round of Guess the Verdict. This time, it's not Emily versus Chris. It's a free-for-all. Everybody versus everybody. You guys have your verdicts ready?
I'm so excited.
I do.
Here we go. AITA for not staying with my wife after her C-section.
Asshole.
It's so hard to not just immediately be like, asshole. So
this guy is like disgusted by the sight of his wife.
And, maybe it's really gross.
And then he just can't even stand her sagging, twisted flesh.
Yeah.
And so he divorces her.
Or maybe he saw it happen and he's like, whoa, that changes my conception of humanity. And
he's traumatized.
He's traumatized.
Well,
but also absolutely TA.
Okay, so you're guessing YTA?
Yeah.
You guys are both
Agreed.
guessing YTA?
I think I'm YTA because it just feels like, but I know you're tricking us.
I know you're tricking us.
Would think, but the truth is, the wife got anxious. They got to the hospital at 2 a.m. Baby was born 3 hours later, emergency C-section. They're getting moved around from ward to ward. OP tells wife he can't stay as he wouldn't be able to sit in the chair all night with no sleep. There's nowhere for him to lay down. So she did expect him to stay, but he felt really bad and he's got a bad back. And so he did decide to head home.
Oh, I thought it was divorce.
Top comment went, no assholes here. 0 points for you. All right,
okay,
Chris, why don't you do round 2?
Okay. AITA for telling my sister that I don't want to be her maid of honor 4 months before the wedding.
That feels like a reasonable amount of time to me. I'm like, it's tight. I mean, it's a little tight by wedding terms, but it's not criminal. It's not going to put her in a serious bind.
Also, so many so many of my assholes are like wedding related, and it really does bring out the worst in some people. So I'm gonna actually go NTA on this one.
I'm going to assume you're being a little tricky, and maybe there was something in the way this was communicated. It is a harsh communication. Maybe she just said more than she needed to say. I'll go everyone sucks here.
Ooh. So it is NTA.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
One for me. Ding, ding.
It's a half sister she had a rocky relationship with anyway, and the bride was procrastinating on things, and then started kind of planning a lot of bachelorette stuff with her half sister, and left this person out to the point where they were like, "What do you want to do? Do you still want me to do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, but and she was like, "I'm not doing it." And she kind of was like a soft no, because she was like, "Oh yeah, I still want you, but we're doing all this," and then she was like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
But the mom was not happy. But NTA.
Emily
Mom's going to be not happy.
with 1 point.
AITA for messaging a woman privately about why she's not liked.
Messaging a woman
Privately about why she's not like, hey, just so you know, nobody fucking likes you.
I also,
Nobody.
this feels like a work thing
Yeah.
to me. Like this woman is feeling
getting-
some sort of way about something going on at work, and the person is trying to maybe help them on the sly by being like, hey, this is what's going on.
But I assumed you were being tricky. And I actually think we found out Emily's more morally flexible than you. So she's being
But
tricky.
we couldn't figure out why. Maybe it's just because I'm a woman.
Well, we know you're willing to be late, and that's all I really need to know. I'm going to go YTA. I feel like it doesn't sound kind, really. And actually, I think we're doing a situation related to this. It's a hard sell, to be honest with someone.
I think it's everyone sucks her.
Both wrong. We got some NTA action
come on.
here. Here's what happened. Okay, so this woman joined a group where they all take their dogs to the dog park together, and there's a bunch of women in their 20s and 30s, and one of the women was like not training her dog the same way as the other people, and like telling them things that were false and trying to give them false advice about like raising their dogs. And so no one liked this woman because they were like, that's not right. That's not what my trainer said, whatever. And just like was like very relentless every day, like being like, come on guys, let's go for it. And like, she just alienated everyone. And so this woman, the letter writer, the OP,
The letter writer.
was like, hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know that like you're kind of making everybody feel weird with this weird, like this is not the same, you're not raising your dog the same way that the rest of us are, and it's making us all feel weird. And the woman like broke down and was like, was heartbroken, left the group, and never talked to them again.
Oh no.
I want to be the same as you guys at dog raising.
I feel like this woman, the woman that did it, that like left the group, must not be completely socially aware.
Yeah.
Sounds
people.
like it.
Dang.
Yeah.
AITA, accidentally drugging my cousin.
Okay. So the drug was meant for someone else.
Yeah. Maybe the cousin's young. Maybe the cousin's like young, and it was like a edible pot brownie, something.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting theory.
If we go the pot brownie route, then maybe nobody sucks. Not the asshole.
I think NTA.
Yeah.
I think that there was probably like a perfectly explainable accident.
But
So you're saying NTA, or you're saying no assholes here?
Oh.
no assholes here.
No assholes here. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, no. I need to catch up with you. NTA.
Okay, Emily now has 2 points.
No.
The cousin is visiting the OP, who is a sister in a sorority house. Asks if so she's upstairs. He's like, can I eat a brownie?
Oh.
And she's like, sure, go for it. And he proceeds to eat not 1, not 2, but 3 brownies, which, come on.
You're gonna get so
That's what I
high.
But she didn't know. She
Right.
didn't know that they were weed brownies.
But also,
So-
who eats 3 brownies?
Who eats 3 brownies? I don't know that I'm ready.
Let's not cast aspersions here, okay?
I don't know that I'm ready to indict, though, on her. Because it went, everyone sucks here.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did she
Everyone
really?
sucks here?
You said
Yeah.
no one sucks
I
here.
said no one sucks here.
Oh, just kidding. Taking your point away.
no.
Emily, back to 1. So I don't know that I think she's an asshole.
No,
No.
totally not.
I'm like a pan of brown. I mean, I don't know how sorority houses work, but that doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
No.
Like, yeah, have a brownie.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't
Come
feel
on.
like that's.
I would say if you're in a frat house, it's definitely you ask what's in the brownie, but in a sorority house,
Yeah.
you take it at face value.
Yeah, I agree. AITA for lying to my husband.
NTA,
so
NTA, no
small.
context needed. Just kidding. Yeah, it's so vague. I mean, is it a big lie? A little. We've been pretty anti-lying so far today on like the painting. We didn't like the lie.
I'm kind of feeling NTA on it, but I can't beat you if it's NTA.
I'm actually not gonna go NTA. I was just saying that so that he thinks I'm lying to him.
I'm gonna go NTA.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Are you being meta?
It's
I'm
a
being
little
meta.
lie. It's a little lie. I think it's a little lie.
I'm gonna go. What's
Tiny little lie.
everybody is an asshole.
Everyone sucks here.
Everyone sucks here. Everyone is.
ESH.
Yeah. Yes.
Everyone sucks here.
Gosh, Emily is squashing us. Ugh.
This lady made biscuits and gravy for breakfast for her husband, and he said that she wanted her to be more firm with him about things he procrastinates about. So she made biscuits again, new biscuits, and used the old gravy. And he hates leftovers apparently. So he was like, I'm not eating those leftovers. And she's like, you better make new gravy. And she was like, okay. And then she just reheated the gravy again and put it on and ate it. And then he checked in the garbage for the gravy.
Oh my God.
And was like, you didn't throw it out. And she's like, you procrastinated about telling me things. And now she realized she doesn't want to waste food, but she's like, he's pissed at her because he lied to her.
How does the
She liked him.
procrastination have to do with anything?
Yeah, I didn't get the procrastination element.
Apparently it's
I think NTA is the right verdict because that guy is. Shut up! You don't eat leftovers.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You can't even tell, you
Sorry,
idiot.
King.
That's even more obnoxious. We've done a situation where someone like won't eat vegan food and then somebody tricks them and they of course love it.
Yeah.
Leftovers, that's just food that's hot that was hot before.
He apparently Googled like how good is gravy, how long is gravy good for, and it was like 2 to 3 days, and he was like, see, it's bad.
Oh God.
That's
I just
right.
thought it was a ridiculous
Emily
one.
That
iced
is
the
wild.
game, so we're gonna make this last round between Chris and I worth 3 points so we can beat her.
okay. AITA for refusing to help impregnate a childless couple.
I mean, that's so obviously not the asshole. Nobody should be forced to impregnate a couple. That's also a weird way of wording it. I
Yeah.
picture like a guy. Anyway.
It's like clocking in for work or something.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I picture. Like,
well,
he's
I pictured him impregnating both because that's how they said it. Impregnate the couple.
Yeah,
like,
I better take care of both of you.
So I think you're trying to trick us. So I'm going to say, no, but how could it, whatever. I'm going to say YTA.
I'm gonna say everyone sucks here.
Here's what happened. This 27-year-old guy's neighbors were like trying to have kids, couldn't have kid. They went over there to his place and he was like, they were like, hey, can we have your sperm? And he was like, I don't know. And then they were like, listen. And then the husband was like, listen, if you don't want to give your sperm, you can just fuck my wife. And he's like, oh no, it's not that. I don't know you and I don't want to be a father. They're like, you don't have to pay for anything. We just want this lady pregnant. And he said, no, please leave. So it wasn't a trick question. NTA.
Oh man.
Wow.
Just fuck his wife.
Just come on. Give him a
But
little.
it's kind of sad. They were like talking about all the government assistance they'll get. And like, yeah, it was like kind of sad story.
Oh,
Help
yeah.
us defraud the government.
Yeah.
Well, you put it like that.
Well, we zeroed it
By
out,
fucking
Chris.
my wife.
Yeah, I know.
Zeros
I'm
for
bad at this
us.
one.
Emily got 2,
Nice job.
which means it is going to be a one heck of an ep for you guys today. Our second story of the day. AITA for going on a trip with my girlfriend, without my girlfriend, since she forgot her passport. Uh-oh. But first, folks, AITA for saying yes to my boyfriend's public proposal and then turning him down in private.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I can't wait to hear it. This is why public proposals are dangerous.
My 26F boyfriend, 28M, and I have been dating 3 years. Things have been good, but I've been clear I'm not ready for marriage. I've told him I need more time. Well, a few weeks ago, we went to a big party hosted by his fam for his dad's 60th. I noticed he was acting nervous, but didn't think much of it. Then he got everyone's attention. got down on one knee and proposed. I was caught completely off guard. I panicked. I've heard stories about how rejecting someone in public can humiliate them. I like how she needed to hear a story. She's like, I don't know. What would that be bad? Would that be bad?
I need a guideline for being a human being.
Yeah. I really didn't want to do that to him, especially in front of everyone he cares about. So I said yes. Everyone cheered. He looked so happy. I felt horrible, but I didn't know what else to do. After the party, on the car ride home, I told him privately and explained that while I love him, I'm not really ready to get married yet. I only said yes to avoid embarrassing him. I thought being honest later was the right thing to do. He got super upset and said I humiliated him even more because now he has to go back and tell everyone we're not actually engaged. He said I should have just said no at the party if that's how I felt. I feel terrible that I've hurt him and put him in this position, but I also feel like he put me on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
We've yet to tell his family, and they keep calling and texting and giving their congrats. Ooh, which is upsetting him even more. And I'm seeing videos his friends posted of him getting on one knee, so it's public. AITA.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, if somebody said you've said this many times, an engagement should not be a surprise.
Yeah. Well, that was our friend Serene Choxy. When he was proposing to his girlfriend or wife, and I think around the same time, and
it must have been his girlfriend, I tell you.
Yeah.
From what I know about these things.
Yeah, I think you're true. I think that's the order. And he mentioned this, that at this point, you're not surprising anybody with it shouldn't feel like you're on the razor's edge of yes or no, right? You should understand like where that person is at, to the point where when you ask them, a no would be inconceivable.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
You could be wrong, but you're right. You should definitely be pretty sure, at least, I would think.
And this person has said,
This lady's
I'm
26.
not ready to get married.
Exactly.
young.
Yeah. So why? I mean, don't do this thing. Don't do this thing. Oh, I'm going to do this thing in a public setting.
Right.
And so what? Is she supposed to just fake it for the rest of her life?
Or say no and then ruin the other event?
Yeah. Then remember when Dad turned 60 and no, it was not about him at all, and it was about this like broken non-engagement.
Yeah.
I think he did something stupid, and it was a bad move.
It was a horrible move.
It was not.
Even if she said yes and they got married, I feel very strongly that you should not co-opt somebody else's big day.
Well, he might have got permission from the dad.
That's true.
I don't think that's
true.
grounds here. I did want to offer a defense of his reaction a little bit.
What is it, Danny?
Well, I think that what he did was stupid, but understandable. I don't think it was malicious either. I think it was inept. It sounds like she said, what did she say? She said she wasn't sure, right? Well, no, she says, I've been clear. I'm not ready for marriage.
I've been clear.
And I need more time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's making
And I
it
think
harder to
there's
defend.
another conversation to have. Be like, well, what would a long engagement feel like for you? Like because I'm pretty sure that you're my person, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So if I proposed to you and it was like, we're not getting married for like 3 or 4 years, but this, for whatever reason, gives me peace of mind about us, maybe that's a conversation, but I actually think he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the fact that he was basically trying to override her, I guess, well, the defense I was going to say, because I felt like I did something kind of similar recently. Let's just say in a world where I think he is being an asshole, because I think this was a chess move. I mean, he put her in a position where she couldn't say no.
I was thinking the same thing. He put her up on the spot.
That's shitty. And that makes his character, that basically tells us everything we need to know about him. But recently I'm getting surgery. I'm getting my deviated septum fixed.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to nostril life. But they told me like a week, whatever, like 10 days before, that I need to get a blood test and that I couldn't take an Uber home after the surgery. And I was like really fucking mad. And I was like, I'm going to give them 1 star. And I had all these And when I thought about it, I was like, it is annoying that they did that, and they could have done better and like just told me earlier, because like now I have to rush to get a blood. But I was like, I'm not mad really about those things. I'm mad about the fact that I'm about to get surgery, and it's like an anxious scare. It's scary. Yeah. It's a little scary.
And like they threw a wrench into it in your brain, and that's scary. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's almost like, so that was going to be what I said, that like there ain't nobody who is going to be told no after a proposal who might not fire off a couple things that shouldn't have been said.
Oh,
you know?
I mean, absolutely. I like, it's not even about his reaction in the car. It's about everything leading up to what happened.
I think so.
And I think that he just completely ignored this person's wishes so hard.
Yeah.
And then put them in a spot where, like we were saying, that it's an impossible thing because now we can't have the conversation. Everybody's
Right.
all these people are watching me.
Oh, that relationship after. I hadn't even thought. Now it becomes like this spotlighty, weird
It's
thing.
awful. It's
like
awful.
their relationship or his next
Yeah.
girlfriend? Okay. Yeah.
Their relationship's
either way.
over to me.
I
You
mean,
think it's over?
I honestly don't think I would ever want to be with somebody who didn't listen to me, who I said very clearly, this is what I want and I don't want. Let me put you in a horrible situation, like, and then blame
this'll
you.
change your
This
mind.
is what pisses me off. I know that you're saying like, of course, but
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
just like, oh, blame me that you put me in a horrible situation, no-win situation. Like,
I gave you
that's-
every
I don't wanna be with
fair
that guy.
warning about nah, dude.
He bullied. He tried to bully
Yeah,
her
he
into
did.
it. Yes. That's
Yeah.
really what it is, right? We're at his dad's party.
Yeah.
Where she's in a position where she can't say no.
And an overwhelming amount of his family.
And also, that's the other thing. Like, if you're really thinking about her, why wouldn't this be at her family's party? Like, this is for him.
It was for him.
Yeah.
No,
He wanted to override her uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Top comment, Ed2Nev writes, NTA, this could have been written by me. If you see him as a future husband, then I'd recommend just having a long engagement instead of ending the engagement. Usually ending an engagement means the whole relationship is over, and him having to explain that you're not engaged but still together will raise a lot of questions. Not to mention it'll be a black mark against you in the eyes of his family and friends. If you don't see yourself marrying him, then call it quits now. He wants marriage. If you don't want it or don't want it with him, then you have different ideas of the future. I told my now husband a few days after the engagement that while I absolutely saw myself marry him, I wasn't ready yet and told him I wanted a long engagement. He understood and we were engaged for 9 years.
Whoa.
9 years.
Wow. And
Yeah.
is the person who wrote this comment a woman? Did they say anything? Yeah, husband. I mean, I guess heteronormatively. That's
I mean, yeah, but again, that's
Unusual.
a conversation to have. It's not a springing in a thing on somebody.
this guy's a monster.
Such a
I
monster.
think what he did was
It's controlling too.
it's
Super controlling.
shitty. It's
Yeah.
saying it's my way or the highway.
And
That's
now he gets
basically
to
it.
paint this person as
The woman
evil
who broke
to
my
everybody
heart.
who was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think anybody though would push, anyone reasonable would push back and be like,
I would
well,
hope so.
bro, I mean, you can't say no to that. And, by the way, not really a cool event.
Not a cool event.
Not a cool event.
No.
But also, like,
Like-
how many birthday parties is this guy going to have that are, like, big, you know? Like 60, 70, 75? Let him have his little party.
Yeah, I agree. He also like ruined his dad's party.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
AITA for saying yes to my boyfriend's public proposal and then turning him down in private. I think we're at big NTA, not the
Yeah.
asshole and he super is.
Super
Yeah.
asshole.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join me on Patreon. Over 200 bonus episodes,
Ooh, whoa, whoa.
ad-free videos, ad-free episodes. Discord, you can join and have chats about the show. All right, we've done stuff like this similar, but this one goes to another level. AITA for going on a trip without my girlfriend since she forgot her passport.
Whoops.
My girlfriend, 23F, and I, 25M, planned a week-long trip overseas in Japan during this winter. I reminded her the day before we left a few days ago to remember to pack her passport, and she said she would. Anyway, first airport we left from, the airport in our hometown, was domestic, meaning it only served flights in our country. So we both just showed our state IDs, we flew. When we were checking in for the second flight, the international one, they asked to see her passport. She didn't have it and told me she realized midway during the first flight she forgot to pack it. What did she think was going to happen?
And they were just going to let her on?
It's going to let her on. Since we were far away from our home, she couldn't just go home quickly to grab her passport. We were both obviously upset, but I checked in anyway and told her that I'll still go without her. She got upset and asked me why I'd abandoned her over a simple mistake, and I told her I wasn't going to miss out on a trip just because she planned poorly. I told her that since we had a mutual friend, 24M, who lived in the city we were currently in, she could ask him if she could stay with him and explore for a week. And then I'd catch her when flying back and we'd go home. She agreed, but was still upset because she wanted to spend New Year's with me.
Jeez.
A few hours ago, I FaceTimed her and we talked, and her friend joined the call and said he was shocked I'd abandoned her like that and that he was disappointed in me. My girlfriend agreed. Am I really a bad boyfriend for still going on this trip? AITA.
Oh my
Oof,
gosh.
man. Hope I'm rooting for the male friend in the city she's stuck in, you know.
You think they should get
Rom-com,
together?
get together vibes.
Do you think that they're vibing and that's why they're both like, you abandoned her, so I took her pants off.
Yeah. Yeah, don't need a passport to travel down there, you know what I'm talking about?
There we go. That's domestic.
I think that this sucks butt, period. But
Not the best sentence. Sucks butt, period.
I was just trying to differentiate my butts. BUTT. I think you can't go on the trip, dude.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I think you can't go on a trip.
I think this one's tough.
I think it's really hard.
It's so cut and dry to me.
Really?
I think if let's say if this happened,
scenario would happen to
this
us.
totally would happen to us, babe.
Who would leave it? You would.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always got to be like, come on, wake up, go to the. I missed a flight in June because he wasn't with me, and he was like, well, I bet you missed her flight, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Wow.
I would leave my past if this happened to us. When this happens to us, honey, go on the trip.
I guess. Okay, you're swaying me a bit because I guess what I mean is we would have a hard conversation about it.
It would.
I wouldn't want to go.
I would tell you to go, go, go.
But I would have to.
Even if she said go, 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 just go.
I don't know.
So
You're stuck. The real crazy factor is being stuck in this different city.
yeah, because I would say like she could also fly back home and then meet him there, wherever. It's going to be expensive.
What a nightmare.
Let's assume it's too
nightmare.
expensive.
I mean, like,
That
could she potentially exchange that return flight, get like some money back for it,
Maybe.
or like move it up,
Who knows?
move it up, and then book a flight there? It's probably super expensive.
Well, and you guys are married as well. Like, and I do think that's relevant here. I
Yeah.
don't know if he said. Did I say how long they've been together?
They're
They're
really
very
young.
young. I am kind of like, you know, it's funny because we were talking about the what was the one we were talking about? The girl is always late. This is kind of that same family of issues.
Yeah, that's why I understand.
I guess this is what I feel. It's kind of like, look, it's on her.
It's on her.
It's on her. But I feel like what Chris is onto in a marriage, I think that's a different thing, especially if you got you saying go, 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 which I actually think is reasonable. And that
It's the only reasonable thing, I think.
but I do think this could be a relationship maker
If he
as well.
stays.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of saying like, look, shit happens.
Right.
Shit happens. But look, I was a fucking mess when I was 23, so I get it. And I kind of feel like him being like, you know, it sucks what happened. But whatever, we'll just hang out in fucking good old Delta Hub, Atlanta. Let's make this a trip, babe. You
Right.
know, like I feel like that is such a like clear message of like, I care about you. The trip is about spending time with you. And if that's the message you want to send, that's his option. If you go, assuming this is a typical relationship for this age group, which would be like maybe 2 years, 3 years, I feel like what you're saying is if you fuck up, I may not stay with you and
or have any leeway on it. Because I mean, the other tricky thing is if you do stay, you can't. And we were just talking about resentment being a relationship killer. You gotta forgive, honestly forgive, and not be like, oh yeah, eating at this Applebee's is great. It's just like having fresh sushi in Kyoto. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I think you get a day of those. I think you get a day.
You get a day, and then you get the joke afterwards.
Yes.
But you can't hold actual resentment there because then it's over.
You got to let it go.
Here's the other thing with the money, like how much of this money can you get back for your hotels and Airbnbs and experiences and reservations?
Okay, that's a
and
good
everything?
counter. That makes it even more hard to decide.
If it's really hard to pull the plug on those things and get money back, that's a factor that the person who forgot their passport should also consider.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if the person is mature, the girlfriend should have said like, look, we're going to lose, let's call it $2,000.
Yeah.
I would say just go. Enjoy yourself. Don't worry about me. But the fact that what the girlfriend actually did, look, I mean, maybe this worked out because
I'm so curious.
You said it right away. He's probably fucking her, right?
He might be.
And
He
you
might
know-
be interested.
You know, she's with him. She feels abandoned. And like, if her whole energy is like, this was fucked up, then she's probably looking to get out.
Then
Yeah.
what's the comeback? Like when you come back from this trip, like nobody's happy. You're right. If that's the feeling that's going on, then you're gonna come back and be like, it was awesome. You know, like you can't even, like, what kind of fun can you have? Because on your return, there's a nuclear bomb waiting for you. You know.
Oh God, this is such a lose-lose.
I know
sucks.
it's such a lose-lose. It's
Except
really
for the time that you're like having the time of your life in Japan.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Are you though? I wouldn't. I would be thinking about the nuclear bomb. I'd be thinking about if she was here, and then after this call with the guy, like, bro,
Yeah.
that was really. I'd be like, he's fucking her now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know. It's just how can you have fun?
I think you nailed it, dude. I think you nailed it. It's a don't go. It's really a hard don't go.
I
Unless
still
you have
think
a
it's
great-
a go, but I do think that the age and their relationship
Yeah.
does play into. I was thinking about this time that our friends, they were also married, but they were like very newly married. The wife had a panic attack and they, like at the airport, and the husband went to Europe without her from New York, and he had a blast. And
But he was also meeting his parents there.
that's true. His parents were coming in from Australia.
If you had another person to meet there, it sounds like in this.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true.
I went to Japan alone. I had a great time, and it's great during the winter. It's not crazy. I
don't know.
mean, when we get
think
into
so.
the question of was this an asshole move?
I don't think it was.
I mean, I think if it was with someone like you who said go, 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 I think you go, go, go. That's fine.
The thing is, I think he's got to stay, but I also don't think he's the asshole.
Yeah. I see
In
more.
a weird way, I've been like a little flipped on it.
You kind of swayed me. You kind of swayed me on the yeah, I think for a young relationship it is sort of a test of the relationship.
I think it's relationship contextual,
Yeah.
the answer.
So,
But I also think she's being kind of a dick by not saying like I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to probably lose money. Go. I think that it's her responsibility to say that.
She should have a little go in her, even if there's part of her that wants a little stay.
Yeah.
You know, like you have
I
to
think so.
have a little grace to be like, man, what a screw up by me. I don't want to waste all our money and ruin your week. So like, will I be a little upset? Not going to lie. Yes. Should you go? I also believe yes.
I think it would be really hard for me to enjoy this.
Oh, absolutely.
In this situation. And you're right. I think that it does all fall on her because I'm like, look, honestly, even like, oh, it's an innocent mistake. I'm like, it's not though.
Yeah.
Like you really fucked this up, and you fucked this up for the other person
Yes.
a lot. And that was from your own lack of diligence. And come on, it's Japan.
I feel
I
like
know
that's
there's-
the point that's not being
Yeah,
like
I agree.
discussed. That like your screw up messed up things for both people, and she's not talking about that.
That's true. I mean, yeah, there's so many things you can overcome forgetting for an international flight. And like the one thing you can't is your passport. And so you can forget your toothpaste and your this and your shirt that you wanted to wear and that
Yeah.
and all this stuff and a hair dryer, blah, blah, whatever you want, or a converter plug or something. You can overcome all that, and you cannot overcome this one
This
thing
is
that
really
he
the one thing.
Yeah.
mentioned to you multiple times that you cannot forget. You put that in your bag like a week beforehand.
And you know what the other dirty thing she did? She knew.
She knew in the flight.
Yeah.
And didn't say it. And it's like, well, we got to start working on this together, which
Yes.
is almost like she wasn't in a problem solving mindset. It's almost like she didn't want to go or something. I don't know. There's something
Yeah.
weird about that. 'Cause I guess she was not saying it because she knew it was going to be bad news bears.
And there's
Yeah.
no solve for it.
Well, there
Well-
well, couldn't they have shipped it?
I mean,
I mean, I guess they could delay their flight. And
No, he could go, ship it.
have it shipped to her, to have a friend go over,
have a friend.
have it shipped to the city she's in, and then overnight it to the city she's in. She joins him the next day.
Yeah, there's as long as somebody has access to their apartment. Yes.
Yeah, well, we break in at that point.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think nonetheless, I think it's a big ask, to be fair, of a 23-year-old, maybe not a huge ask, but like, I don't know, for her to be like, this was my fault. I own this. I take accountability. It does not sound,
No, I know.
like things a 23-year-old says.
I know.
Nonetheless, I think AITA for going on a trip without my girlfriend since she forgot her passport. I think in the end, I think we're all struggling to ding the guy. I think.
Yeah.
If you do this for someone, I think it is like I feel like this is a kind of story where they go, I knew he was going to marry me when I forgot my passport on the way to Japan.
True.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't-
totally.
Yeah. Also, I wonder what his level of excitement for this trip was.
And
I'm
also,
sure
I
it was
wonder
through
what
the
his
roof,
level of commitment
you
to
know?
this woman
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
None of us married somebody that we were dating when we were 23 or 25. Like, just, yeah.
Right.
Thanks for including me in that. I think we're lined up. It's not the asshole she is. All right, we're gonna do a little goofy one before our big outro here. I thought this was just kind of funny. AITA for trying to remove my ex-wife from my Costco membership. Separated in 2020 since I kept her on the Costco and other shared memberships. Didn't cost me anything extra. Recently, things changed. After a child support hearing and her claim that some payments I made in the past, she told the judge that certain payments I made weren't child support. No, those are just gifts. At the time, I was 11 grand behind in child support. It's been paid off now after 13 months. Since then, I've started to follow the court order to the letter and have become more strict. For example, I now request half of medical bills from her when I used to cover them entirely. Now, Costco's renewal is coming up in January. I asked her if she planned to either one, contribute half the cost, or two, get her own membership. Her response was, why should I pay half if I don't get any perks? I'll just get my own. I told her, fair enough, I'll remove you. I also suggested she get an executive membership for $130 if she wanted the perk of getting a check from Costco, reminding her that I have the regular gold membership and don't get any cash back. AITA for removing her from my Costco membership.
Absolutely not.
I love that this guy knows all the tiers of
Well, I felt like that was a little fuck you. Like, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you don't know how the Costco system works.
You want to keep living your Costco life the way that you are?
Yeah.
You're going to have to pony up, sweetie.
The pony up. This isn't the business membership. Getting you to spend $250 a month to break even on that. I don't.
Yeah, no, I think I love it. I thought it was going to be pettier than it was, and I don't think it's petty at all.
I don't either. He told her. It's not like she had a cart full of stuff at the checkout line and they were like, this doesn't work anymore, you know? He's like, you're off, man.
Yeah, and she also said, do it. And he said, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a thing here of when it's kind of like keeping score. It's like if someone is going to keep score on you,
Yes.
don't be surprised when they start keeping tight score back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's all he did. He's like,
Totally.
oh, I didn't realize that's how we were playing. I thought we were kind of keeping it cool and chill. But now you tried to fuck me so hard that it's like, all right, I guess we'll just play to the exact cold letter of the law.
Also, you're going to need a new Netflix membership, sweetie.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. If we're doing accounting for everything, then turnaround is fair play, right? Like it's
fair play.
Yeah.
I mean, and the funny thing is that she is. What did he say? He just said they separated. It actually hurt her though. You know, now she could have paid half. Now she's paying the full price for Costco.
I know she could be right in there for half price.
Can you imagine? What is that? $37 or something.
One time a year.
That's so reasonable.
Sharing a Costco membership with your ex-wife is the most adult thing that I never would have thought about as a teenager. And I'm like, oh no, this is the stuff. This is the grown-up
shit.
stuff. Yeah.
I had someone on this podcast. God, this is years ago, and he asked his wife to marry him at Costco. And,
did she say yes 100 times?
She didn't. She nice. I don't think we made a joke like that.
Bulk yes.
It's like a bulk answer.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's great. That was a very funny joke.
Thank you.
Right over my head.
This is such a comedian interaction. Very funny. Yes. Correct joke. But yeah, I kind of. So what happened is that she said she didn't want it to be at Costco, and then he asked her at a dive bar.
Much better.
Which it was like their dive bar. Well, you guys like the dive
Two
bars.
of my favorite places.
Yeah. Where did you ask?
A dive bar.
No, it's
It was a cocktail
A
bar.
cocktail bar.
But they had
Long
French-
Island bar in Brooklyn.
And when he was
Lib.
proposing, like there was some like 20, it was really packed and there was some like 20 something guys that were standing right there and they were like, oh shit, he's proposing.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
very funny.
And they had a bucket of champagne and a
And
order
fried-
of fried cheese curds on the table for us.
Oh, wow.
That was nice.
That's cute.
You did good.
Thank you.
Nice. AITA for trying to remove ex-wife from Costco membership. I think we're at. No, I meant not the asshole, and she is.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
being an asshole.
Yeah,
she's
she's
screwing herself over. Like, I
Yeah.
think this guy kind of extended reasonable co-parenting goodwill,
Yes.
and she's like, no, that doesn't
Yeah.
count. Medical doesn't count. That's a That's a
we're-
gift.
No, dude.
Hey, here's a gift. Half your medical bill. Oh, what
dude.
a wonderful gift.
On Judge Judy, the amount of people who take money from other people and then try to claim gifts is insane. It
This
happens
is a common
all
strategy.
the time.
Are you a
it's
big Judge Judy guy?
Well, he works
I
there.
work for.
So he's actually perfect to have on this podcast.
Are you Judge Judy?
I am Judge Judy.
I didn't know you worked for Judge Judy. That's hilarious.
But yeah, the amount of people who do like, oh, this person gave me $3,000 and it's a gift. It's like, no, it's not a gift.
what do you do as Judge Judy?
I work in legal clearance.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I guess I never asked you. I thought you had like a stiff court. I thought you worked for like Paper Co. The best paper products.
I used to work in New York, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I recently was in the gallery because I did like extra work because he set it up. It was fascinating and sad, these cases.
Wow. Can we talk about it at some point? We'll go into do Judge Judy
Sure.
stuff. Great. All right. We're going to wrap up here, folks. But I have a question for you guys before we get into it.
Yeah.
When did you first know, go Chris first, that Emily could be your spouse? That it was on the table.
I mean, it's kind of sad because it was like after my friend died.
Right.
And Emily and I had only been dating for 5 weeks. And
5 weeks.
yeah, and I called her literally from a police station and told her what had happened and kind of expected a little like that she could opt out of a relationship with somebody who had just experienced like a massive
Yeah.
loss, and she didn't. She was there the whole time. So that was like, okay, this is like a person that's going to be with me through everything.
Damn, that's making me emotional. It's kind of making me tear up. Okay.
Well, then
Emily?
like 5 weeks, or I don't know how much longer. 3 weeks? 5 weeks?
No,
After that?
it was yeah, maybe about 5 weeks. Yeah.
So then, like 5 weeks later, I got a call saying, "Do you want to have your very first TV writing job, but you have to move to Miami?" So then I went to his apartment. He had just moved from Jersey to Brooklyn, Jersey, where his roommate passed away, and then now he was closer to me. And I went to his apartment with a bottle of champagne to celebrate, but to tell him, but then also because I figured he would break up with me. And I was like, we have to have this really hard thing. I've been wanting to get a TV writing job for my, very long time. And I finally got one, but I'm going to Miami. And I was ready for it to be over. And you were like, we'll just make it work. So then we did long distance. And I think that when you told me that you would stay with me, then I was like, oh, this is like, oh, really? Yeah. So we did long distance for 9 months.
Yeah.
So the answers are 5 weeks and 10 weeks.
Kind of,
About, yeah.
Damn. Well, consider that getting into this one, folks. Rate, review, subscribe. Join me on Patreon. 200 plus bonus episodes. Every single episode ad free. Come on, join. It's 2025. Make the change you've been wanting to make your whole life. Here we go, guys. AITA for saying that men know within the first 6 months or less if they're going to marry their girlfriend. There's currently a TikTok trend that is a chronological slideshow of photos in a couple in which the woman posting says, 5 years ago, I was just his girlfriend. Next photo, 4 years ago, I was just his girlfriend. And so on and so forth until this year, I'm still just his girlfriend. Many of the comments agree that the woman should leave and that men know if they're going to marry the woman they're with within the first 6 months of being together or less. I agree with the sentiment based on what I've seen in my life. The other day, my friend was joking about doing the trend with photos of herself and her boyfriend of 8 years. They're still unmarried and share a child. I told her that the comments on that trend are probably right given her situation. She called me an asshole and said that was a disgusting thing to say, especially since they share a child. I said it wasn't that serious and she told me to stop talking to her. I said, no problem. Give me a call when he proposes.
Oof.
AITA.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, holy cow.
I think that sucks. And I also I have such an issue with this like public airing and shaming of romantic partners for social media clout. I hate it. I think it's disgusting.
Says the guy who took a little too long to propose.
I mean, sure. I didn't propose for 5 years. We talked about how quickly that happened.
5 years? I don't think that's considered criminal, Emily.
But I wanted it. And
No,
he knew it.
I know. But I mean, I had decided and was working on things and then planned it for our anniversary, and then that was like still close to a year away. So it was a stupid.
Fine.
But it was a
silly
silly thing to do because it was too long a wait. I was trying to make it too perfect. You know what I mean? But that being said, I hate this stuff on social media like this. I hate this.
Yeah.
This your own calling out your own relationship. I hate this on TikTok. People like, I pranked my husband or pranked my wife saying with a number from a woman calling me, or tested their relationship by like having something weird on my phone. I just think I fucking hate it. I think it's gonna ruin your relationship.
Do a little prank like that, like a little joke.
I think it sucks.
No.
Would you really believe it? I mean, I guess that's where
we did have a stalker who wrote to
Jesus.
Chris and said that I was cheating on him with a guy named Kyle. But really, this woman, and this was Kyle's girlfriend, but really this woman was a totally different woman who was just like obsessed with Chris and tried everything to like ruin our lives and ruin my life and like was calling my employers and like it was crazy. So anyway,
you guys can't do that. We can't be in the last situation of the last episode recording and be like, I work for Judge Judy. Here's the most interesting story I heard as well. Well, we'll have to come back to these things.
But I just don't like that trend, and I hate using it. But also
exploiting the people that you love for views is it's sad.
It's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
And you deserve broken relationships.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little harsh for me. It's okay. I mean, this one, I think, look, I think this trend, it's a good misdirect. Let me say, structurally as a comedian, I think this is a good joke. Can we
Sure,
agree on that?
I totally get it.
It's a good joke.
Yeah.
It's a good joke. I think the issue is you're kind of on dangerous ground because I think, well, let me tell you my reaction to this. I thought, what an absurd idea. This OP is a fool. The notion that people consistently know for 6 months.
I agree.
That's absurd, I thought. That's ridiculous. I've never felt such a feeling, this 6 month nonsense.
I agree.
But I've never asked a woman to marry me.
Yeah.
So I started Googling and I thought, well, is this plausible that this is backed up by the research? Apparently it's in the air. It's widely cited. And there actually was a study done. The study asked men when they knew, and the average was around 172 days. So, Emily, let me just say, you might be mad at him for 5 years, but 5 weeks, that's 35 days.
Yeah, no. I think that's part of it. Like, we just locked in so quickly.
Boom,
and so I was kind of like, and I also thought he had been, like, you were proposing, like, a couple Christmases, like, pretty early on, but actually it turned out that you got a funny sweater, and that was a big surprise.
I thought you were going to ask me to marry you. You got a funny sweater.
And I, like, told my sister and everything, and I was like, it's Christmas, I'm getting married.
You really thought it was coming.
Yeah.
So the study has been very widely publicized. It did have a serious flaw, which is they asked the participants to specify the number of days this did or would take from 1 to 365, and then an option labeled more than a year, which I think is a pretty considerable priming error because that definitely is going to put people, obviously, if you like.
In the first
days versus years.
365, yeah.
Yeah, 1 to 365 or more than a year.
Yeah.
So that's odd to me.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's a big difference between like knowing that this is the person you want to be with and then actually going through and doing it. Like who knows what the fact, like every person, every couple is very different from every other couple. People are carrying their own insecurities, their own baggage, their own this and that into things. So that's why the shaming bothers me, because like you don't know it was the comments, especially on these videos where people are like, dump him, dude, this guy sucks. It's like, you don't know anything about this, which is why you exploiting the relationship sucks, because you're opening it up to all these people to have a voice inside of your relationship. And that
like
stinks.
so private. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
stinks
Well,
to me.
I think you're asking for trouble. I think you're asking for
You're
trouble
courting
because
it.
what's that?
You're courting trouble.
You're courting
Yeah.
trouble because what is it that you want to hear? Really? Do you want to hear, oh, he's definitely going to marry you, babe? It's like, and that's why I think this is a thing. And I have to say, 5 is not a crime. I mean, 5 is fairly common.
It
I
is
think
common, yeah.
I'll venture this out. Tell me if I'm wrong. At a comedy show, if I go, how long have you guys been together? 5 years. And I go, so when are you going to finally do it? I think people will be like,
So, yeah.
but if they say 10, they'll be with me.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Oh, sure,
They'll be like
sure,
10.
sure.
That's crooked.
I think it also depends where you are in the country. I think 5 is criminal in certain parts of the country. If you go to the Midwest and you've been dating somebody for 5 years and they haven't proposed, that's like not very nice.
Or go to Utah, man.
Yeah.
Marry
Yeah.
young out
Okay,
there.
that's fair. There's cultural factors.
There's so many factors, and I don't know. I just, like I said, I just don't like opening this up. And also, what is the end goal? Do you want this TikTok to move the needle
Right.
for your partner? Does that feel good?
Or
if you do it and they go, oh yeah, you made that TikTok. Oh yeah, there you go.
Do you think that there's scenarios in which, like, if I made the video and I showed it to you before I posted it and I was like, this is funny, right? Are you cool with this? Like, that would be okay? Like, I'm just doing this.
Oh yeah, like a conversation between the
conversation.
partners. Yeah, I think that if you have a conversation, I mean, I still don't love it, but also like if you're both agreed and you're both ready to deal with the fallout of these swamp monsters coming at you.
Well, that's the thing. I agree with you. I mean, you're letting all these people have a conversation in your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what I like about it is that it can kind of slap people in the face with reality. I mean, I think there are a lot of women who are in dead end relationships and they're just with this guy and he knows on some level. I mean, I think the study, even though I had that issue with it, the priming error, I'm like, I do think there's a lot of women that are actually fucked by this. I mean, I had immense guilt, and it's not like I was some sort of like savant where, I mean, she said it. When I was in a long-term relationship, she was like, you're burning my good years. So she was kind of like, do it or don't.
How
Yeah.
long were you in that relationship?
5 years.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think these conversations
Yeah.
can and should be had because
Right.
you don't want to be wasting people's time. And if guys or girls are wasting each other's time, that stinks.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Like full stop. But I don't know. I don't necessarily know that. And I think the OP doesn't.
So what did OP do though? OP says he agrees with it based on what he's seen in life. The friend is joking about it. I told her the comments on that trend are probably right given her situation. She's been with the boyfriend for 8 years.
I think that stinks.
Yeah. No, I think weighing in on somebody's relationship like that is really shitty.
And yet you claim that you're the brutally honest friend. Isn't there an honesty there though? And isn't he probably right?
So he could be right, but every
Could be right.
relationship is different and they already have a kid together. I feel like they've started a family. They're doing it. Like maybe somebody doesn't want to, maybe they don't feel like putting their money into marriage and a wedding and everything that's entailed that goes with it. Like
unless
why
you know
are you
the inner
digging
working.
around in
Yeah.
somebody's relationship? If they offer it up and say like, can I just talk to you about this? Like, I'm really stressed out. I really do want to get married, blah, 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 but he's not doing it. He's just dragging his feet. That's one thing, but just to throw your opinion about somebody else's family, I don't know. I just think it's really
I agree.
yucky and tacky and not somebody's place.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if the person had conversations with you about, I really want to get married and this is what's going on, and you can reference their own words and their own feelings back at them and say like, remember you said this, I think that this is probably right that you should have this conversation. But I think it sucks to be like, I think the comments of these strangers are right. Nah,
Yeah.
man, like about my relationship, I don't think so. You don't get to say that.
I don't know. I'm struggling. For me, the fact that they share a child and they're still not married, I'm like, oh, fuck, what else? It's classically the reason you do
Why does it matter to you?
It doesn't matter to me, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe this, you tell me why the situation is different. But when I look at, there were people who were like, oh, it's like the people who called me out for drinking, I didn't like when they did it. And they're like, hey, the way you drink isn't normal. Like I had a friend tell me that when I was in high school. They're like, that's not normal. And I didn't like hearing it at the time. But looking back, I was like, that was integrity. That person was willing to shoot me straight.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't think that's a one-to-one comparison.
they're telling me about my relationship with a substance, and this guy was saying maybe those comments are right. Well, I mean, was he too harsh about how he worded it? That he said, I told her that the comments on that trend are probably right given her situation.
But there's a down. So if you don't quit drinking, right, that's like really, really bad for you. If this person still has a family and they're just not a couple that happens to be married, like that's
all he said, though. That's all he said. He wasn't. That's what the comments were. I mean, it wasn't like the comments are like, "Oh, you're a monster or a bad person" or whatever. It's like, yeah, he's not going to marry you. That's probably what they said. I mean, I think that's a reasonable.
I think he's not going to marry you stinks because it's like you don't know if is she so unhappy about not being married that it's detrimental to her well-being, her mental health, or is it just something that she would like, or does she want it? I don't know. Like, I don't know what their relationship is.
Why is it so horrible to say?
Because
isn't it triggering because it's true? I'm like, yeah, it's only triggering you because you think it's true. I mean, we agree on the facts of the matter, right?
I think potentially that could be true. Like maybe she is feeling a certain way about it, but I just don't like referencing like internet comments as like a truth for somebody else's relationship.
But we don't really know exactly what the comments said, but I'm assuming the comments basically said he's not going to marry you.
Yeah.
So we can rest on that.
Yeah.
He's basically saying those comments are probably right. Why is that such a bad thing to say?
I think saying to somebody, oh, your partner doesn't want to marry you is such a slap in the face because one, you don't know.
It feels very judgmental.
It feels very judgmental. It's also like you're not you're not attractive to this person. Like you're not you're just not. I don't know. It's just
like sure, you have a kid together. You've been together for 8 years. You're seemingly happy, and he doesn't want to marry you, and you should fix that.
I just think you can't know what this man is thinking, and I think it's weird to say that these random ass internet comments know what he's thinking, and I don't think it's a good idea to put words in this guy's mouth. I don't think it's a good idea to put it all on the internet either. And yeah, again,
this is what these things are open up your relationship to. I know that's not her video. It's like she's referencing the right. Did she do the trend? I can't remember. Did she do the trend, or she said, "Oh, maybe I should do this trend"?
She was saying my friend was joking about doing the trend.
Right,
so
joking
she
about
was
it. Right.
Thinking that she might. I told her that the comments on that trend are probably right given her situation.
I think the right thing to say is it's kind of a funny trend, but like if you do it, you're going to get comments that are probably going to upset you.
Yeah.
And you should be prepared for that.
Basically saying he doesn't want to marry you is really flip too. I feel like there's a really gentle way of saying like, I worry for you because I know that you do really want to get married, and I just worry, like, have you had conversations with him? Like, is he, what
it's
does
a touchy topic.
It's a touchy topic. And there's a right and wrong way to bring it up. And I think just bringing it up flippantly and referring to comments from the internet as like about her whole life, this woman's primary relationship is just like, it's so tossed off. It's just so rude.
Yeah, I think you do ask, you go, do you feel this? Like, oh, you're going to make that. Do you feel that way? Do you want it? Like, are you upset that he hasn't proposed to you? Like, you have to make her give you information about it rather than just flippantly say, like, those are right about your relationship. If you have a little insight into it, I think you could maybe reference those comments and say, like, this is very similar to how you feel.
Yeah.
But I think just saying, like, they're probably right is like you said, very flippant. So I think you just have to get into the nuance of it with this person and say, if you make that video, there's going to be comments. Do you feel that way? Do you want to be married? Are you happy with your life? Unmarried?
Yeah.
But there's just so much going on in a relationship that you can't just toss off comments like that.
When we're talking about being like brutally honest with your friends about things that they might not want to hear, it is, I think a lot of it, I think that's what it comes down to for me. It's like you have to be really careful and thoughtful about the way that you bring things up, because it's deeply hurtful to say that the person that this person started a life with and had a kid with doesn't want to marry them. It's like very hurtful to say. So like think about another way of getting to your point that isn't so cruel. And yeah.
Agreed.
I think you brought me over. I was leaning that way, but I don't know. I guess I thought that it is true But I think this is a case of like, yeah, I mean, it may be true, and it's probably true. He's probably right about what he said.
He could be, yeah.
But it's obviously a touchy topic, and it's not something that you should opine certainly on, and there's a million better productive ways. It's just, this isn't funny. It really isn't funny. And I actually think that's kind of how you open this up, which is like, it's actually not really funny to joke about this online because you kind of are like in a precarious situation. I mean,
especially one-sided, like one person decides to do it.
Yeah.
And you're in a relationship. You're not in a one-person situation. You know?
I feel really, I'd feel really like abandoned if you like did something and you were like, my wife, you know, like without me.
Yeah, like you're just fodder for this. And then not only that, like then you have these people saying all these things. They don't know your relationship. They don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
And that happens so often on social media. Oh, like even dumb stuff. My husband, I make him tea every morning when he reads out in his garden, and then what a patriarchal, you know, people, he forces you to make, and you're like, so even in the best of circumstances, you get bad things.
You got it off a video I made recently because you didn't go to 7-Eleven and pick up tampons for me by yourself.
Oh, right.
And people were like, I wasn't complaining about it. That wasn't the point.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. People were in the comments were like, why didn't he go get it himself? Like, what? He's coming with me to be nice.
I fucking offered to go by myself.
Oh, you did? I didn't remember that. But whatever. Yeah.
Well, I wrote those comments and I don't regret it.
But also, that's exactly it.
But yeah, like,
meaningless
it wasn't even the point of the video.
Yeah, people are baseless attackers.
Yeah, they
online.
just are nuts.
Yeah, I think I mean, the OP's a listener, so I'm trying to be I'm trying to defend them a little. I think the other thing though about this trend is, and this is maybe another reason it's dangerous, the setup of it is a joke, like, haha, I'm still just his girlfriend. And it's like, well, you are kind of making light of this.
So am I. Oops. Did I go too far? Oh, this was one of those things that you can say it, but I can't say it. Yes, it is. It is absolutely one of those things that like I can say I'm a big stupid loser and nobody wants to marry me. But if you say I'm a big stupid loser and nobody wants to marry me, that crosses the line.
It crosses the line. And it's not cool in a friendship, but it's very predictable online.
Yes.
Yeah. AITA for saying that men know within the first 6 months or less if they're going to marry their girlfriend. I think this wasn't an impartial offering of a fact. It was a flip and unempathetic, cold response, OP. Thank you for listening to the pod. And you are right. I went in ready to refute this motherfucker. I was like, this idiot's so wrong. And you were right. The fact is true. But I think this is a very touchy topic.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
It just is. So I'm sorry, OP, but you are the asshole.
Sorry, OP.
YTA. We all are, though, sometimes.
Kemily Calowinters. Chris and Emily, thanks for joining me. This was really fun.
This is great. Thank you for having us.
And thanks for bringing Pickles, your dog, which we lost her. I don't know where she is. Hopefully she's not in my bed.
No.
She's right here. All right, we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.